Hello folks, and welcome back to Shogun Total War. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am Kanastep, and I play Shogun Total War Let's Plays. So far, I have already played a Let's Play for the Shimazu clan and the Mori clan, and now I'm going to be playing a Let's Play for Clan Oda. I play all of my Let's Plays on Expert difficulty, and I can talk a little bit about Clan Oda here in the clan selection screen. I do consider Clan Oda to be the hardest clan to play. They are right in central Japan, as you can see in this graphic up here. I will talk more about their strategic starting position when we get into the game map itself. It's a little bit hard to see from here, so I will talk more about it then, but we can just talk a little bit about who the Oda are. There's a little blurb here, and I'll just read it off to you. The Oda are implacable and fearful enemies to any who dare oppose them. They are prepared to go to war against rival clans and Buddhist monks alike in their relentless pursuit of power. Their tactics may lack subtlety, but they are effective. Leave no opponents alive. Their strategic advantages are that they can recruit and maintain Yari Ashigaru for lower cost. Again, I will talk a little bit more about that when we get into the map itself. And yeah, same for the nearby important resources. I'll just talk about all of that when we get into it. Right now, I'm just going to play the intro video and let it go.
The year is 1530. For 200 years, the Ashikaga shogunate has ruled Japan from their capital in Kyoto. The recent Onin War has shown that they no longer have the power to control Japan's great clans. The time has come for a new warrior to claim the title of shogun. Japan is divided between ruthless warlords. Armies grow stronger, only to be depleted in the frequent vicious battles that give this era its deserving name, Sengoku Jidai, the age of the country at war. Year after year, the endless plains that divided the clan's territories are stained with the blood of thousands of brave samurai, fighting for their liege lord and for their honor. When necessary, accept help from others, not of our lands. Gaijin can be useful pawns in your campaign, as they bring guns from overseas. If they become a nuisance, they should be expelled from our shores, or even eliminated. When there is no other way, assassination can be instrumental in gaining victory. Even a general who is invincible in battle is as vulnerable as a child when asleep. Use the men of the shadows, for they excel in the deliverance of death by night. No one is untouchable. Honor is everything to samurai. A man who loses face and his honor must then also lose his head. This is Bushido, the way of the warrior. Follow these rules of wisdom that have been handed down through generations, and your victory will be complete. Japan can be ruled completely by only one man, a great warrior, general, and strategist. To become shogun will require battles to be won with the mind as well as the sword. Now is your time. Let total war begin.
Alright, that's an excellent intro. I have to watch it every time. Really gets me in the mood to conquer. And here we are. Here is the Oda territories marked in yellow, and right away you might be able to see a little bit about why Oda is so difficult to play as, especially in the beginning. And the main thing is just their central positioning. They are right in the smack dab center of Japan on both sides. In fact, starting with the north, we are bordered by Imagawa in the light blue, and then Yasugi in the dark blue. We have some rebels as well. And then to our south, we are bordered by Mori. A few more rebels, but they will be conquered immediately by Mori. So it's going to be mostly just a strong Mori position here on our south. And the main issue, though, is actually just the fact that there's rebel territories right in the middle of our own territory. So, like here in Isa and here in Yamashiro, these are within the traditional exterior boundaries of our realm, but they are actually rebel held. which is kind of frustrating because it makes it very stressful to hold on to all of our territories and keep them safe, because these rebels actually will attack us, and they are very strong. They are they're pretty much all warrior monks. They basically demonstrate, or they represent the Iko-Iki warrior monks that Clan Oda had to deal with in the actual Sengoku Jidai. So a lot of warrior monks and a lot of samurai archers is what these armies are made up of, which is a lot to deal with considering my troops are quite poor themselves. Something that Clan Oda was known for was using a lot of Ashigaru. And if we take a look here, for those of you who are new to the game, the Yari Ashigaru are the peasant unit in the game. So Yari stands for spear, and Ashigaru is the peasant unit itself. I think the literal translation is like light on foot or something like that, but yes, they're light armored, so they move a little bit faster than samurai spearmen, Yari samurai, but they are poor troops themselves. Now, they do have an advantage versus cavalry. In fact, I can actually just read this blurb to you. The standard Ashigaru is equipped with light armor and a yari, a long spear. They are conscripted peasants and poorly trained, but often form the mainstay of samurai armies. When their fear of the enemy exceeds their fear of their masters, they often waver. They operate best when kept in tight formation, where their long spears give them an advantage, particularly against cavalry. Then we also have these samurai archers. Samurai archers provide an army with the ability to strike enemies from a distance. They are equipped with sword and bow, but are lightly armored and should avoid melee. They are best used as skirmishers to decimate massed infantry ranks from a distance without engaging in hand-to-hand combat. So samurai archers are very useful. They are probably the most versatile unit in the game itself. Not only are they good range units, but they are actually samurai themselves, so they can fight in melee. And frankly, comparing Yari Ashigaru with the samurai archers are better fighters in melee. It's just that they are quite a bit more expensive. Samurai archers cost 300 koku to train, whereas Yari Ashigaru are going to cost 100, but for us, because we have a discount, they're only going to cost 75 koku to train a unit of Yari Ashigaru, which is quite good. That's very helpful for us. One thing that Clan Oda does have is quite a decent chunk of money in the beginning. That's something that I haven't had the luxury of for my first two campaigns, playing as Mori and Shimazu. Southern Japan in general doesn't have the wealth that Central and Northern Japan does, so I'm finally going to be playing with some clans that have a little bit more money, but I'm going to be needing it because I'm going to need that money to, eliminate all of these threats I'm going to be dealing with. And my idea is, well, actually, before I get into that, let's talk a bit more about the clan itself. So, all I have is Ashigaru. I don't have any Yari samurai. For my mainstay spear units, no Yari samurai, just the peasants. So yeah, here in Owari, this is my capital. It is a river province, but there's 2 bridge crossings, so it's a little unique like that. It's the only river province in the game that has 2 bridge crossings. Makes it a little bit easier to take, but I think the AI is pretty wary of attacking bridge provinces in general, and I don't think this makes a difference, the fact that there's 2 bridge crossings. I think it's just as wary of attacking Owari as it is any other bridge river province, and I will be using that to my advantage by essentially leaving Owari very lightly defended in the beginning of this campaign. Basically counting on the fact that since Owari is only being bordered by Imagawa's Mikawa province, which is also a river province, there's a sort of double layer of strategy here, well, psychological strategy here that I'm going to be using to my advantage. One is that I know Imagawa is going to be lightly defending Mikawa because they know that because it's a river province, it's hard to take. And because of that, there's going to be very little troops here in Mikawa that could potentially strike and attack any other provinces, right? So it's kind of ironic in a way. I'm going to be leaving Owari lightly defended because Mikawa is also going to be lightly defended because they're both river provinces. I believe I'll be getting away with that, and I'm going to be focusing more heavily on reinforcing Mino here. because Imagawa's opening move, first off, is taking Shinano. It's what they will do in the first turn of every single campaign, is taking Shinano off of Yusugi. Once they are here, they have quite a commanding central position over this part of Japan where they can attack anywhere. Essentially, they can attack in any direction, including Mino. So the idea for me is that I want to have enough soldiers in Mino early enough in the campaign to basically deter any war from even happening in the first place. If I have enough soldiers here, they won't even attack. They will just kind of shrug their shoulders and focus more on other things, and they have a lot of enemies to go after here in northern Japan. So as long as I bolster my frontier provinces quickly enough, they will leave me alone, and that's a huge deal for me. I have to be able to accomplish that. I have to be able to reinforce Mino quickly enough to just avoid the war in the first place. It's not that I don't think I couldn't hold them off, but I don't want to have to spend those resources anyway. I'd rather just have to deter them, and that'll be the end of it. Because I'd rather be spending my resources going after Issa. I will be taking in the very first turn. And this is very important to me because, for one thing, it's getting rid of these warrior monks that are here before they can get any stronger. And in addition to that, there is a Buddhist temple here in Issa, which will never get destroyed when I take this province. This is very useful because that means I can get warrior monks that I'm training from turn 2 of this campaign, which is very powerful. That's something that no one else can get. I mean, it takes 5 turns or 4 turns to build a large castle, and then another 4 turns to build a Buddhist temple. So, and it's all expensive, so it's going to be a while before any other clan can build warrior monks at this stage of the campaign. So I'll be having warrior monks, and then I will be attacking Yamashiro as quickly as possible after that. In fact, so this is the summer of the year 1530, and I will be attacking Yamashiro by the summer of the year 1531. That's the latest I can hold out, basically, because they will eventually start attacking me in other places. These warrior monks, after I take Issa, the warrior monks here in Yamashiro will start, basically, they'll declare me as an enemy and they will attack me where I'm weak, which is everywhere. I'm so lightly defended everywhere I look, so it's going to be a really quick 1-2 punch. It's just the trick is going to be trying to beat warrior monks with Ashigaru and archers. That's going to be really tricky. Now I've practiced this, and I think I have an idea on how to do this. So I'm going to be taking my daimyo, my Ashigaru, and my archer from my capital, and I will be training a unit of Yari samurai here, so that even though, yes, it's technically undefended right now, there will be a unit here at the start of the next turn. So that means that Imagawa shouldn't attack me. Let's see, I'll take my emissary. Again, for those of you who are new to the game, this is my diplomat. This is the guy that I'll be using to broker alliances with other clans, and I can use him to also spy for me as well. In fact, if I can show you, so I can look at here. These are samurai, trained in all the traditional arts and used as diplomats. They are sent to enemy daimyo on missions to propose treaties. All emissaries gain experience each time their mission succeeds. Experience is the only defense against ninja attack. They also act as spies, giving useful information on enemy defenses. And this is what I primarily use emissaries for. I like to use them as an early scouting force to see what the enemy has. Now, since I have practiced these opening moves, I have a pretty good idea. Issa, I will be facing 3 warrior monks and 2 samurai archers. And then Yamashiro, I believe it's 4 warrior monks and 3 samurai archers by the time I get there. What they have right now, I'm not sure. I never attack Yamashiro on turn 1. And let's see, so I need to get a few more troops in here. I can easily bring in a Yari Ashigaru from Ki. I will be bringing this Samurai Archer and Yari Ashigaru from Yamato. And then I will be bringing this Samurai Archer from Iga. And then I can bring also this Samurai Archer from Omi. And I'll bring it into Issa. Now it's time for me to cover down a little bit. I'll bring this Yashigaru to Iga to defend it from any attacks here, because as long as there's a presence, it deters attacks. And that's the idea. The thing is that leaving provinces wide open, the AI will take advantage of that, even rebels. So I do want to make sure that all of these provinces are covered, even if I'm making a full-scale attack on the Isa. Now, if you really want to play like a meta sort of like, you don't care what you lose as long as what you gain is worth it kind of style, I get it. That's strategically worthwhile. It's smart strategy. It really is. I just have a sort of stubborn not wanting to give up my territories kind of thing. If I lose them later on in the campaign, that's different. But in the beginning, I don't want to just give things away so that I can gain, the more valuable territories. It's just a stubbornness of mine that I have to deal with. So, if you want to just go all in to take care of these provinces and say everything else be damned, okay, I'll leave it up to you to figure out how you want to play then. But in this case, I want to cover down and cover all my bases so I maintain a presence in all of these areas. Like I said before, Mino is the place that I want to make sure that I hang on to. So trying to remember, so one thing to mention, I do have an heir that's already of age. So we look at my heirs tab. It's Oda Nobuhiro, 16 years old, and he's a 3-star general. Same as my daimyo, also 3 stars. 3 stars the lowest that you'll get for any starting daimyo, so it's average, it's what you'd get. And let's see, how old is he? He is 30 years old, so not as old as Mori Motonari. So I probably won't be having to worry about him dying of old age anytime soon. Now I want to bring my heir over to Kawachi. Kawachi is an extremely valuable province. It produces 420 koku from farming every year. It's also a river province, so it's easier to defend. Now, let's see. I do want to build castles as well, but first, before I build castles, I want to finish moving my troops around. And I'm trying to remember the best way to do this. So, Yashigaru there. So maybe what I do, trying to remember, is if I can bring this Ashigaru into Omi, and then this Samurai Archer into Mino. 2 archers is better than 1 archer and 1 Ashigaru. And yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. Okay, and since my public order is already looking a little dicey, I will bring it to very low to start with. Doesn't matter in summertime. The only time that the crops are harvested in autumn, so that's the only time the taxes have to be very high to make a certain amount of money. Now let me just make sure I have enough troops. So 1 archer, 2 archer, 3 archer, 4 archer. So that's as many archers as I can get. And then 1 Ashigaru, 2 Ashigaru, 3 Ashigaru. Yep. So that's all I can get there. 3 Ashigaru, 4 archers, and then my daimyo against 3 warrior monks and 2 samurai archers. So it's you'll see. It's a tricky battle for sure, but I can win this one. But before I move on, I do want to start building castles here in Tamba and here in Mino. Like I said, I need to make sure I deter attacks. Now, I will be able to deter attack from Imagawa if I play my cards correctly, but Mori will crash down on me eventually, sooner rather than later. Imagawa will come, theoretically, would attack me like a turn or 2 before Mori would, which is why Mino is sort of the priority when it comes to deterring attacks. Mori, in my opinion, is inevitable. I will have to go to war with them, and in fact, I want to expand south before I expand north anyway, and the reason why is because my idea with my Oda armies is that I eventually want to build up to having a Christian daimyo, so that I can build a lot of churches, build a lot of Portuguese trading posts, and make a lot of money. The way to make a lot of money in this game is to convert to Christianity. There's a lot of money to be made by trade with Christian nations. The other thing is that I want to have my armies using a lot of guns. It's just a way that I like to play the Oda clan. I think it's fun. I think it's kind of thematic. And the thing, though, the reason why I need to go south is because the Portuguese first land here in Hizen, and then I want to say that's like the year 1544 or something like that. And they will eventually work their way to Satsuma, and then Tosa, and then down the eastern coast. So I want to be as far south as possible when the Portuguese are making their way north, so that, you know, we can meet up, get trade going, and then I can start producing guns as early as I can, because until then, my armies are going to be pretty bare bones. I will train some warrior monks in the early part of the game just to give myself a little bit of oomph against all the forces I will be fighting, but once the Portuguese come, I will transition fully into becoming a Christian nation, and I will sort of roleplay that by disbanding my warrior monks and making sure that I don't have this sort of divisive idea or ideals of Buddhist warrior monks fighting alongside Christian teppo, or teppo is the Japanese word for firearm, I believe. But yeah. You technically can make those things work together as long as you have a Buddhist temple before you convert to Christianity. But once you convert to Christianity, you can no longer build any more Buddhist temples. So you technically can have warrior monks and guns on the same battlefield, but I just don't like to play that way because it feels kind of cheap. So I'm not going to be doing that, but I do need to push south as early as possible. Now, one thing I do need to build, I need to build a tea house as well, because I need shinobi as fast as possible. Shinobi are going to be my counterintelligence kind of guys to keep my public order high in all the provinces. And this is going to be very important since I'm going to be taking provinces held by warrior monks, which tend to be very fanatical. These are fanatical religious zealots, and keeping the population loyalty high after I take the provinces themselves actually is quite the challenge. So shinobi are going to be very important. So I got that tea house there. Double check, I have castles in Mino, castle in Tamba, and then I will train, Yari Samurai, that's good. And I'll read this to you as well. The Yari Samurai is the mainstay of the samurai army. The Yari is a long spear, making these troops very effective, defending against mounted opponents. So long as the unit remains well ordered, they are good against most troop types. And this is the basic hardline samurai unit for this game, is having Yari Samurai. They're quite good. The Ashigaru are going to fill in a lot of gaps for me because they are cheaper and because I have a bonus for producing them. Also, Owari provides an honor bonus for all Ashigaru that are trained here, so it's a very good it's really good synergy for the Oda clan, is having that price discount for Ashigaru plus the honor bonus for Ashigaru. And in addition to that price discount and that honor bonus also applies to gun units, because gun units are also Ashigaru. We don't have a samurai gunpowder unit here in this game. Not because of any Bushido nonsense. Samurai totally shot guns. It's, you know, some people like to think that they were too honorable for that, but that's not the case. They read the art of war. They were very well trained in the arts of winning at all costs. So the idea that samurai wouldn't use guns because they're dishonorable is really silly. But in this game, they just don't exist. We don't have samurai gun units. They're all Ashigaru peasant units. So they will be gaining that +1 honor bonus if they're trained here in Owari, but that's going to come later down this campaign. So for the time being, I think everything's good for now. I'm super nervous about this beginning just because it's a tough beginning. It's really hard. So let's see. I got everything in place. All right, let's end the turn. All right, so looking like I'm 431 versus 300 of theirs here in Isa. Let's get into it. Looks like we got a little rain, and rain is the worst enemy for my plan. The idea is that warrior monks' only weakness is being shot by arrows. They have very little armor. They're basically just wearing robes. Now, warrior monks have high attack and they have high defense. And defense is how they defend themselves in melee combat, hand-to-hand combat. But defense doesn't do anything against missiles. They're not hacking arrows out of the air with their weapons. If they get shot by an arrow, they're getting shot by an arrow, and the only way of stopping an arrow is with your armor values, which for warrior monks is very, very little. So the only thing that can really stop me from getting a lot of damage with my arrows is rain. Rain dampens bowstrings, and it sort of, kind of knocks arrows around in the sky, and it reduces the efficiency of ranged units. Well, yeah, bows and arrows and guns. So I want to try to get a fine day, so I'm going to wait. Heavy rain is even worse, so let's try waiting. Rain expected all day. That's not good either. Fine day. Okay. I was getting very nervous. Okay. So I will attack on a fine day. And I will just get these guys grouped up really quickly here. I want to get him and put them in group 1. I want them on hold formation and hold position. And then I want these 2 samurai archers in group 2. Also hold formation and hold position. And then Mayari Ashigaru will be in 3 separate groups. So just him by himself. Actually, wait. I want to do... So I order it by... Down here in the bottom. The way I do this is that my group 1... Wait, where's the... Nope. So yeah, my group 1, which are these archers, as you can see, out of my 2 archers, they are the lefternmost group, and 2 is my rightmost group. So on the battlefield, the way this is going to be, so that I keep my hotkeys corrected, is that these guys are on my left side, and group 2 is on my right side. And I do the same thing with my Ashigaru, so it's more important how they're ordered down here. So I'll be doing group 3, and then 4 in the middle, and then 5 on the right here. And I'll just have my daimyo in 6. I just want to double check everything. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so the idea going into this is a tricky battle for sure. I'm basically just going to be going straight and trying to come up around the left side here. They typically take a central position, and I try to make them come at me one at a time. It's tricky, but it's the best chance I have of accomplishing this. Now the idea is my Ashigaru cannot beat warrior monks in melee combat, not even close. They don't stand a chance. So the idea is that I need to take these charges from the warrior monks, not by my Ashigaru. I need to hold the line with my archers themselves. They fight better. They're better fighters in melee than the Ashigaru. So they will be shooting the warrior monks, yes, of course. But they won't be skirmishing backwards. They won't be running away from warrior monks. They're going to take that charge, and the Ashigaru are going to come in from behind the warrior monks and try to break the morale by surrounding them. In addition to that, my daimyo also will be in there providing his command support as well. These are 3-star generals. He will be providing some combat buffs to my units. And yeah, that's the main plan there. So that's how it works. Looks like we have the enemy general as an archer unit, and they're just there right out in the open. And that's the only bad guys we see right away. So let's just get going, and we'll get my guys going. And I'm going to take this one really slow here. So we're going to be going up the middle here. And I'm basically going to keep a wide formation like so with my samurai units. In fact, right now this is kind of clumped up, but this is kind of necessary because right now I'm going to be going around this little group of buildings in the middle of the field. I'm going to be going around that and around on the left side and going up the left side of the hill up here. Alright, now the general unit has backed off and they've retreated back, and that is fine with me, because at the time being, all I really care for is that I just want room to move. Now I can get a glimpse of some soldiers back here. I do see some warrior monks behind this hill here in the back. So far it looks like they're not really reacting much, but you can get an idea of what my plan is. My archers are spread wide so that there can be overlapping fire on any monks that are trying to charge them, and I have all of my ashigaru in the back ready to basically bolster lines, but more likely trying to go around whichever side the warrior monks try to attack from, and then go from there and try to surround the warrior monks. And then of course my daimyo's in the center in the back where he can support from whichever side he can. Now I'm going to try to continue to get on some high ground here, and well, not high ground, but just even ground with the enemy, and try to even that out with my archers. Now I'm on even ground here, and I have a better idea. I can see some warrior monks, and I can see I think maybe that's 2 units of warrior monks and 1 unit of samurai archers back there. Now I just have to essentially entice them to start charging me. I have to get close enough to them to get them to want to start attacking me, but I also, when they do start attacking me, I want to be set. I won't want my archers to be moving. I want them to be ready to shoot as soon as the enemy comes within range. They need to get as many shots with their bows as possible. So yeah, I need to try to find a way to get them to start coming towards me now. Now it looks like there is some movement, and I can't tell if they're retreating or if they're coming towards me. One thing I have to be wary of is that if the archers do want to take the high ground of that hill there, they are going to outrange my archers. It's not a huge hill, but it's enough to give them an advantage. Which way are they going? Alright, so it looks like they are retreating, and that's kind of a bummer. I don't want them to retreat. I wanted to take this army apart piecemeal, one at a time, 1 unit at a time, and now it looks like I'm going to have to chase them. And at this point, time becomes a factor, because we're already, if we look at the game time remaining up here, the white clock with the red ticking off of it, got quarter of our time is gone already. So that's frustrating, having them retreat like that and basically leave this entire position. Yeah, that's tough. I don't want to have to chase them to those forests there, because arrows don't do a lot of damage in forests. So yeah, those trees knock down a lot of arrows, so that's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna have to see if I can get them to attack me outside of the forest, and preferably not all at once. Alright, now they're moving out of the forest, and yeah, I'm actually really nervous about this, because I'm not sure what they're going at here. I usually engage them here. They usually fight me here, and maybe if a couple of their units do retreat, then at least it's just a couple of them. In this case, yeah, I'm getting nervous because they're splitting off. I got warrior monks going left, I got archers going right. I don't know what they're doing. This is troublesome for sure. Yeah, so it looks like they have all 3 of their warrior monk units together here on the left, and they're inching up towards that hill that's behind this forest here. And then we have, I'm guessing, both of their samurai archer units here in the forest. I am really confused, but mainly the issue is that since they are all together now, that's the primary problem, is that now they can all work together and they can all fight together. I was hoping to kind of peel them apart, and yeah, I'm not sure how this engagement's going to go now, because I wasn't planning on having to attack up a hill through a forest. That was not part of the plan for sure. And in addition to that, I'm not sure where to... how to corral them because they're split. I don't want to just turn my attention on the warrior monks and have the archers come behind me. Although maybe that's the best way to do it. No, it looks like... Okay, it looks like they're starting to come down the hill a little bit. I wonder... A part of me feels like this is a good time to strike because if I can split these archers off away from their warrior monks, then that means that, you know, I can separate the army, but I don't know, I don't know. The thing is that my army isn't, you know, melee centered. It's not, it's the strength of my army is just my archers, and that's it. I don't really have the melee units that can really just kind of roll up and split an army in half, you know. I can't just run up there and engage. I mean, those archers will beat my Ashigaru. That's the thing. those samurai archers will beat my Ashigaru, so it's definitely tricky. Also, that's only one unit of archers, and I don't know where that... So that's not the general unit. There's a general unit of archers that is back here in this forest somewhere. And I don't know where they are. Oh, there they are. I see them now. So we got some archers there. Now I probably have to back up with this unit. I don't want them to get outnumbered basically in this range duel. And let's see here. I want... Yeah, if we're just gonna go against the archers first, then in that case, see, are the warrior monks going to come downhill? I think what I should do is send my daimyo out to attack these archers. Now, how are we doing over here? Are they shooting? No, they're not. So basically, I just have 4 of my archers shooting against 1 unit of theirs, and that's okay with me. It looks like we have monks that are still hanging out up here on the hill. And, you know, if they want to hang out up on the hill while I take out a unit of archers, that's fine with me. Now, the other thing that I'm wondering is, do I send... See, now, horses are supposed to stay out of the trees because they don't fight well in forests. But should I send my daimyo into the forest to hunt down this general with a unit of Ashigaru to help him? I think that's what I'm planning on doing. Now, the other thing that I have to consider is that they're starting to send warrior monks downhill, and I need to get ready for this attack. Let's see, send him after the general, and let's send him after the general as well, just to back up my daimyo. There we go, and that way hopefully we can split them off. And now these warrior monks might be coming down the hill. Oh, that's okay if they're not. Because if we can just split off... this might actually work. Because if we just basically kill this general while he's isolated... yeah, so my daimyo won't fight well in the forest, but with support from these Ashigaru, that should help. So yeah, get in there, general, and... Get in there, Ashigaru. Alright, now what do we got going on up here? Are they going to come down? Yeah, they might be coming down to essentially support there, because they know their general's in need of help. So they might be coming down here to basically try to rescue their general, which don't think is going to work out for them. I know Ashigaru don't fight well against archers, but... with my daimyo there to help out, I think that might work out for me. Maybe. Fingers crossed. And now I'm trying to... Hopefully I can clean this up before these warrior monks hit my lines, because this is going to get dicey here really fast. Now, alright, need them to start shooting, and need them to start shooting as well. And Ashigaru, I need to start getting them in position as well. And I need to tear these warrior monks apart. Now, how are we doing over here? Still hanging on? Yeah, losing badly. I lost a couple bodyguard units. My Ashigaru are taking a beating for sure. Yeah, that's dicey. Now, how are we doing? Alright, so this warrior monk unit is already down to half health. So they got cut up pretty badly. How are we doing otherwise? So we might be pushing the warrior monks back up the hill. That's fine. Okay, so now back to here. How are we doing? Down to 14 samurai archers. My daimyo is down to 9 guys out of 11, so that's fine. Ashigaru unit got really banged up. But alright, so now the enemy unit is running away. So now that's fine. Now I want to get my... There, enemy general is killed. Good. That's very good for me. Is there any other units? Let's kill those samurai archers. Make sure no one else gets away alive. All right, so that's good. Now we just have these three units of warrior monks left, and I'm in a pretty good position. Well, mainly just 2 warrior monks left, and I'm in a pretty good position here because I still have my 4 units of samurai archers. So now I just have to sort of entice them to try to come down here and try to get them to charge me. Alright, how are we doing over here? All done? Okay, good. Well done. Ashigaru fought very bravely, and now it's time to inch our way up this hill and try to get these warrior monks to come join us into an engagement down here. Now it looks like they're repositioning a little bit. Looks like they are going back up the hill, which I wonder if they will just retreat. I don't want them to, because I do want to kill as many of them as I can. I will, if I win this battle, I will have to fight a castle battle, a siege battle the next turn, so I want to be able to kill as many of them as I can here. But the bottom line is that just because I have killed so many of their archers, in fact, if not all of their archers, I'm not quite sure if any unit, any archers from that first group got away or not. So I know that the castle battle will be in my favor just because I can just basically sit outside the castle and shoot them with all of my archers. But I'm still would like to get as many warrior monks as I can here and now, because if those castle walls stop my archers from killing every single warrior monk in that castle, then it's going to be really dicey going in there and killing those warrior monks in hand-to-hand combat. That's going to be really tough. So yeah, at this point I just want to try to close them off and try to get them to come in to charge me here. Alright, now that my archers are finally in range, at least on this side, looks like they are shooting. And I'm trying to see maybe the warrior monks will start attacking now. No? Alright, so I think I just have to get this unit on my left flank to get them to move up just a little bit more. Hopefully I can get them in range. I was hoping I can entice them to come down and attack me, but if they just sit here and take arrows, I'm not really against that either. I am surprised by this really passive stance that they've taken. I think I have maybe seen them do this like once before, but usually they do attack. Usually they come at me, because that's a lot of power right there. That's a lot of strength that they have. So I'm gonna try to get my archers on this side to creep forward a little bit and try to angle this unit as well, get them higher up on this hill, and see if I can get more of my archers in range. Alright, now that I have all 4 of my archer units in range and they are firing down, looks like they're just going to stand here and take it, which is fine with me. That's that should be a pretty clean victory for me. That's good. So yeah, let's see if they just stand here and take it. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I did wipe out that first unit of archers. Yeah, because I had my daimyo chasing, right? Yeah. I had my daimyo chasing that first unit of archers. The second unit of archers was the enemy general, which I did eliminate to the last man, which means at this point it's just these guys. It's just the warrior monks, and there's sort of an ironic angle to this, and that is that because warrior monks have such high morale, they actually will just stand here and quote unquote fight until the last man, or in this case take arrows until the last man, which is kind of funny because in a lot of cases it's like very hard to get rid of them because their morale is so high. But in this case, because their morale is so high, they're not running away, whereas a cowardly unit like Ashigaru wouldn't be as easy to kill in this case because they would just take one volley and just nope, I'm out of here. But in this case, the warrior monks are just kind of chilling. They're like, this is kind of my deal anyway, so they're just going to sit here and take arrows. That unit got completely wiped out by arrows. And let's see if they actually are they going to just chill here until the end? Let's see, I can get these guys in range, and so they're out of ammunition. Where you can tell archers are out of ammunition is if you hold their cursor over a unit instead of a bow, it's a sword. That means they're out of ammunition. So like these guys, that's a bow. And you can tell they're in range because that little arrow by the bow is green. And this is fantastic news. I mean, getting these guys down to just I'm going to wipe them out, aren't I? They're completely. There's only 4 left. Sweet. That's so nice. Now these bodyguard for my daimyo unit, they are typically 11 guys. I lost 2 in this battle, but they automatically replenish after each battle, so that's really nice for me. I did lose more than half a unit on this unit of Yari Ashigaru. That's okay because they're really cheap, especially for me. They are very cheap. And sweet, that's that. Awesome. So I killed 298 and I lost 45, and that is not bad. My daimyo did gain 1 honor. His unit took 48 heads and they lost 2 guys, but like I said, they will be getting those 2 guys back, so awesome. That's a really, really good outcome for this, considering especially because of how nervous I was when the enemy retreated back to their forest. I thought maybe I was going to run out of time. This is an awesome start to this campaign. I'm very, very happy with that. So I was able to destroy 1 building. That's just a random event that my army kind of goes in there and wrecks shit while the conquering happens. I pillaged 200 koku. That's always half the value of the building that I destroyed. And Lord Yusugi has decided he cannot win the battle and is retreating. This is about Shinano. That's as I was talking before about Imagawa taking Shinano, there they are. They just took Shinano. Alright, sweet. That's a very, very good first start. And I will be finishing up this episode just by taking this castle. There's only 2 guys. There's only 2 guys in the castle. That's awesome. That's very, very good news for me. Cool. And that just means I have to take Yamashiro and just a couple more turns after this. So I will be taking this. I don't even know if I want to fight this one on the map. I mean, it's just a waste of time, isn't it? Yeah, there's no reason for me to go in there and just, show you a battle so I can kill 2 guys. So I will be automatically resolving this fight here. And now the question is, see, this is where it gets really nerve-wracking because I want to make sure, as I was saying before, that I have enough soldiers here in Mino to deter any attack because, that's a little chunk right there. That's a decent little force. If they want to attack me in Mino, they can. So, got 2 archers there, Yari Spearman. I'm really tempted just to bring my Yari Spearman up and reinforce Mino. Basically leaving Awari open again, but just going for it and building another Yari Samurai. So I got that going. I have 1 more turn before my tea house is finished, and 1 more turn before my castles in Kawachi and Mino are finished. Alright, so I think that's it for now. Spearman, yes. Siege, yes. End the siege. Oh, and I want to also put taxes up because this is autumn. This is where my my crops will be harvested, so taxes very high. I can still deal with that. Population loyalty is 113% with very high taxes, and 115% here in Tamba. That's fine. That's as long as it's above 100%, that works for me. When it's below 100%, that's where there's a chance of there being a rebellion in every subsequent turn. So that's fine. I can deal with that. Trying to think if there's anything else that I want to be looking at right now. I think. See, this is how. Yeah, I'm just keep just keep questioning myself. All right, Yari Samurai and end turn. All right, so I got 2,420 Koku. That's not bad for this early in the campaign. And I have that castle that's finished in Tamba. And I have another castle that's finished here in Mino as well. And then I have that tea house in Owari. That's really good. Sweet. Castle Assault. 388 versus 2 of theirs. I believe it's just 2 samurai archers. I'm going to automatically resolve this one. And I lost 1 guy. That's okay. Average harvest, 2420 for the treasury, as I said before. Alright, now let's go see what they have here in Yamashiro. Now that my emissary is here, I can check it out. So it looks like they have 3 warrior monks and 3 samurai archers. And yeah, that's why it's really tempting to, you know, that's why it's so important to attack them as soon as possible, because they get stronger faster. This is them without any command stars and any generals. So that's, oh, actually, no, I was wrong. They do have 1 command star. So they have a one star general here. One of the reasons why the Issa battle is so, dare I say, doable is that there's no command stars and the generals there. So they just kind of, they don't fight as well. Now I do, like I said, I have this Buddhist temple here, which is really nice. That's awesome. I can start building warrior monks now on turn 3. So these Buddhist samurai fanatics are the most powerful foot soldiers on the battlefield. They carry a portable shrine as their unit standard, which makes enemy Buddhist troops most reluctant to engage them. Christians don't suffer from this problem. So what this means is that they basically cause fear in other Buddhist soldiers, which is everyone. At this point in the campaign, everyone's Buddhist. And in fact, for most campaigns, most clans do stay Buddhist. Typically, later in the campaigns, there are some clans that will switch eventually to Christianity. But that whole fear problem for warrior monks is something that applies to most armies throughout most campaigns for the Sengoku Jidai campaign, which is really, that's like part of their appeal. It's not just that they're really good fighters, but the fact that they also cause fear in enemy soldiers is very, very useful, because that causes a morale debuff that causes them to run away. Now I will be moving I'm just going to keep my emissary on the move, basically. The problem is that Imagawa starts the campaign with ninjas, and you better believe that they're sending their ninjas out to kill any emissaries that they can, just because they're easy kills. It's a good way to get their stats up. So one way to kind of like get away from that is to try to keep my emissary moving around, and that way, hopefully, in theory, the ninjas will be 1 step behind me at all times. So I just want to keep them around Yamashiro. That way, when I'm ready to attack, I can kind of move them in there the turn before and check out what they have here in this province, just to double check to see what they have when I'm ready to attack. Now that I can start building Shinobi here in Owari, so now I get this Yari Samurai. That's cool. So yeah, now I want to build a Shinobi, which is kind of frustrating because I would rather be producing soldiers here every single turn in Owari, but I just can't do that now. And in this case, what's also nerve-wracking is that since I'm not producing soldiers here in Owari, that means I'm leaving Mino like this, with just 3 units to hopefully, fingers crossed, Imagawa doesn't flip an attack, because they probably could with what they have right there. That looks to be a decent little army if they wanted to start a war with me, which makes me see, I just can't move this guy from Owari since I'm not since I'm not going to be you know what, actually what I'm thinking is maybe just for the time being, if I move this army here to Iga, and then I cover down, bring my Yashigaru here to Omi, and then I bring a Yari Ashigaru here to Mino. See, it's just about the numbers. I just want to make Mino look like it's, you know, well defended. And if that one unit makes the difference and just deterring them for one more, I just need some more time to get more units here. And I think right now covering down is going to be helpful. And in addition to that, the other thing that I'm thinking is, do I want to move my heir? If I move my heir, and if we cover down like this, then I can have another unit in Mino as well. It's very, very tempting. It is. But does that mean that they're going to attack Kawachi? Gosh, I don't know. They might attack Kawachi, and I don't want them to, obviously. So yeah, I think I'm just going to hang tight like this for now. Cross my fingers and hope that these 4 units is enough to deter an attack here in Mino. Let's see, I will be training, okay, warrior monks here in Issa, shinobi here in Owari, and now I can start building castles here in Kawachi and Wakasa. And that will be my exterior territories, all castled up. Then in addition to that, I think that there's more. Yeah, you know what I should do is I should also build a spear dojo here in Mino. Yeah, because so the nice thing about Oda, there's a few advantages that I have. One, so if I wanted to go the warrior monk route and really go full on with building warrior monks, warrior monks get a bonus for being produced here in Ki. Ninjas get a bonus for being produced here in Iga. As I said before, Ashigaru get a bonus for being produced here in Owari. Let's see, I also have access to iron sand deposits here in Iga, Omi, and Mino. That means I can build armories in all 3 of these provinces where I can build well-armored troops. And let's see, also Yamashiro, when I do take it, Yamashiro provides a +1 honor bonus to any unit that's produced here. That means any agent and any melee combat unit, which is really nice. That's a very helpful thing. Now, there's a certain frustrating aspect to the way that the Oda campaign is built, and that is that all of these provinces, except for Owari, that can become very good troop-producing facilities for the Oda, are all landlocked, which is kind of annoying because that breaks the rule of this game where you should always be training your soldiers in provinces that have access to a port. That means they can be moved across the map instantaneously in one turn. Any province with a port that's a friendly province with a port can have troops moved from that province to the other province that's at a port in one turn. So ports are very powerful. I don't have any ports right now in any of my territories, but I will be having to build them. And yeah, as a rule of thumb, you should be training soldiers only in provinces that have ports in them. And since it's Japan, most of the provinces do border the ocean, so you can build ports in most provinces. However, it's just a sort of just because Oda is such a central clan, they actually have more landlocked provinces than any other clan in this game. So that leaves me with a conundrum: is do I essentially say I'm going to forget about all of these bonuses here, the iron sand deposits, the +1 to honor for Yamashiro? Do I care about these things? And would I rather just have troops being moved around faster and then I can just train them in Ki, Issa, Kawachi, Owari? Or do I really care about having well-armored soldiers? Even if that means that my armies are going to be moving around a little bit slower because that means that they have to move to a port province before they can be moved across my empire. Now, this is more of like a mid-game sort of conundrum, but it starts here in the beginning. The plan starts here. So, what I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is the right answer, but I want to build well-armored units. I want my armies to be made up of Naginata infantry, well-armored Naginata infantry, and then guns. That's the way I like to play Oda, and even if that means I'm going to be a little bit slower, that's just how I'm going to do this one. So, yeah, that's what I have in mind. Now, I do want to start, so the Spear Dojo, just so I can start producing. Once I have a Spear Dojo here, I can start just pumping out Ashigaru, and that's going to help me just build a wall of Ashigaru on my frontier provinces to help deter any attacks, hopefully. Alright, so that's it for winter, I think. Just want to triple check everything. Shinobi there. Warrior monks there. Building a Spear Dojo here. And yes, building castle. And castle. Yes. Alright, I'm still nervous, but... Oh, that's a good thing I checked this. I want to bring my taxes down to very low, because it's winter time now, so I'm not doing any harvesting. So yeah, alright, end turn. Alright, they did not attack me. Alright, sweet. Good, good, good. Now, in my experience, the longest I can get away with these rebels here in Yamashiro not attacking me is summer of this year. So I have one more turn basically where everything is fine. I can move my warrior monks up to Iga, and then I have to attack in the summer, which is next turn. So in this case, I want to spend here, I can bring this shinobi down to Issa to help keep the public order all fine. And let's see. Alright, so that's fine, fine. Now I can bring Yari Samurai up to Mino. And I can produce some more Yari Samurai and another Warrior Monk as well. And let's see, that's going to be 700 Koku. That leaves me a 300 for the rest of the year. 300's not a lot, but then I can just train Yari Ashigaru for the rest of the turns. Yeah, so looking at 111%, but the Shinobi is going to help out with that. Alright, Warrior Monks. Yari Samurai. Alright, that should be fine. I'm still nervous, especially here. See, now it's like, I'm looking at what Mori has, and yeah, if Mori attacks me, like, I wouldn't be able to fend them off right now. They have their daimyo over here, 5 stars. They have a 3-star general with a decent amount of troops. I have a river province with my heir in it, and then I have 2 more provinces that have just Ashigaru, so definitely dicey. It's one of those things that... Oh, and yeah, here in Shinano, that's already half stack in Shinano. And yeah, I don't have much. I got 4 units here, plus a 5th one there, so not a whole lot. So yeah, it's super dicey. But I do think I'll be ready to attack next turn. Actually, what I want this Yari Samurai available for this attack, just to help out, and I will be bringing this Ashigaru unit here to Mino to help defend. And yeah, I got another Yari Samurai being built here in Owari. So yeah, that means that next turn I'll be able to attack with this full unit here, or this full army here, plus 1 unit of warrior monks, 1 unit of Yari Samurai, this extra unit of Yari Ashigaru, and then I'll also bring in my heir's unit of archers as well. Yeah, that's, yeah, just hopefully no one else attacks. Hopefully Imagawa doesn't attack, and hopefully Mori doesn't attack. Alright, so now that I have the castle that's finished being built here in Kawachi, I have a castle that's finished being built here in Wakasa. That's good. I have the Spear Dojo in Mino. That's good. And Mori's still going after rebels. That's good. Imagawa's going after Yasugi. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Looks like a ninja did catch up to my emissary because I stuck him in Yamashiro for one too many turns. So let's see if he survives this assassination attempt. Oh, God. No, he did not survive an assassination attempt. That's kind of a bummer. And the rebel general in Awaji has decided he cannot win the battle and is retreating. That doesn't have anything to do with me, that's just this battle here in Awaji. So that's good, I'm glad that Mori went after the rebels and not me, so that gives me one extra turn. Just the turn that I need. So this is when the battle's going to go down, it's going to attack, it's going to happen here. I will be attacking Yamashiro with this army, and yeah, that's gonna... It's gonna be a big one. It's very important. Looks like Imagawa has backed off Shinano a little bit, and they have attacked into Echigo or Echu. Let's actually look at my my throne room map really quick. So yeah, this might be kind of hard for you to see, but the light blue is Imagawa, and they have taken Echu, so they are moving west a little bit. That's good. That takes a lot of pressure off me. That means that perhaps I can move my warrior monk and have him move towards this border, or maybe I can move him this way to help with the eventual conflict against Mori, perhaps. I'm not sure, but in any case, I'm going to do this next battle. I'm going to save this next battle for next episode. And until next time, this has been Kana Step, and this has been Shogun Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.